Hello to all our viewers. You're watching xTremeExcel YouTube channel, and this time we are showing you a interactive report. If you have a look here, so when I make a selection, you will observe that the color of that row changes, and you can see a arrow in front of it, and this description changes as I select a movie, and the image you can see here. So these are a couple of things which are being controlled on dynamic selection by user. And you can see one more thing here, the rating. Okay, so for example, currently it is 8 and you can see 8 filled blocks here, but if I make it 4, you will see 4 blocks that are filled and rest are unfilled, right? So this is also dynamic. Now we'll see how we made it, and we'll be starting it from very scratch, and let's see how to design such reports. So first of all, let's open a blank Excel. All you need is let's copy the headers. This is static content. I'm copying it here, and let's copy the data. So now you can see here we have the name of the movies and their score, but we don't have any rating. Okay, so if you go here below, you will see one more table which is having these symbols. So I've not done anything special here. I'm just using these symbols to get the values on the time. Okay, so for example, I want to see here 7 blocks. Alright, so if it is 7.1, I want to see 7 blocks completely filled, and I want 8 block to be partially filled and rest 2 to be unfilled. Right, so in case of 7.1, if I break it down, this score is out of 10. So in case of 7.1, I want 7 as filled and 1 as partial and 2 as unfilled. Right, so how will I get this 7? You can simply round down the number, or you can simply get integer value of this number. You'll get 7, right? And if you round it down, round down by 0 number of digits, you'll again get 7 here. And what you can do here is you can use rep function, which repeats a text to n number of times, and I want to repeat this symbol, and the number of times is coming from integral value of that score, right? So you can see here we have now 7 blocks which are completely filled. Then I want 1 partially filled and 2 unfilled, right? So how to get the partially filled values? So all the values which are not perfect integers, for that we need 1 partial filled value cell. I mean 1 partial filled block, right? And those who are proper integers, for those we don't want any partial filled blocks, right? So the easiest way is just to find the difference between the number and its round down. And if I say that 7.1 minus 7, this is 0.1, and if I round it up, it will give me 1, right? So if the round up value of the difference between 2 is equal to 1, then I need a 1 partial block, otherwise I don't need any, right? So that means is equal round up of this value comma 0 minus not the this value, but this minus round down of this comma 0. Yep. So is there some error? Yeah, we need to specify the number of digits here. So this, if this is 1, then we need 1 partial bit, otherwise we don't need, right? If I drag it down, you will see for all these are floating values. For these we have 1, and for integers we have 0. Okay, so we can use rep function again, and I want to repeat this text this time, comma, and this many number of times. Now we get the formula, and we can copy it, and we can concatenate it to the previous value. So if you make these characters static by their fixed references and drag this to the bottom, you will see that you are getting the completely filled cells as well as the partial filled blocks. Now we need unfilled blocks, right? So that is simply can be calculated by 10 minus the number of blocks which have been covered so far, right? So if I write down the formula here, is equal to 10 minus round up of this value comma 0, and I want to repeat this character. And I can simply concatenate the third value at the end. Oh, there is one problem here. We didn't make it fixed reference, and that's why when I dragged it down, so it made it some other reference. Yep. Now you can see we have ratings in terms of progress bar, right? So this was the first part. Now coming back to the main report which I have shown you earlier, right? This is how we calculated it, and we can change the color of these to the text color. Yep, like this. Right. The next thing is I want to see the row as a highlighted row when I make a selection in between these, right? I mean from B4 to D11. If I select any cell in between, that particular row should get highlighted. So for that I need to look at the VBA. I'm opening VBA editor, and as I'm working on sheet 1, I'll be opening the module for sheet 1, and I will work on worksheet and use its selection change method, right? So it will create a sub procedure, private sub procedure for selection change. Yeah. So here you can see the method. In this method we are passing a target. So target is a range, and we can use the row and column number of the target to perform the operation which we want to do, right? So for example, if I do something like this, target dot row is greater than 4, because I want to select the range between 5 and 11, right? So and target dot row is less than 12, and column between 2 and 4. Target dot column is greater than is equal to 2, and target dot column is less than is equal to 4. If this holds true, in that case I want to do something, and I don't want to I just want to highlight that row. So that can be simply done by selecting the range from B. Now I cannot put a number here because I just want to use the row number which is currently active. So the row number I need to pull from the target dot row, right, and concatenate it with this column and then B, C, D, because 3 cells we want to highlight. If you look here, B6 to D6 if I make any selection in row 6, right? So C, and then again concatenate it with target dot row and change its color to, let's say, 40, right? So before, yep, let's save it and see what happens. You need to save this workbook with macro enabled feature, otherwise these macros won't work, right? So now you see I made a selection here. Oh, I need to put D here, B, C and D. Yep. As I select a row, those cells get highlighted, but at the same time I want to clear rest of the cells. So before I highlight a row, I want the complete range to be cleared. I mean, not the text but the background color. So range B5 to C D11 dot interior dot color index, and let's make it no fill. So by the value 0 you can make it no fill, right? So now if you make any selection, you will see it only highlights the current row, and before highlighting it clears all these cells basically, right? So user get experience that only the row which he is selecting is getting highlighted, right? And nothing is happening if I make any selection outside the range, because I have put a condition that this should only happen if the row lies between 4 and 12 and column lies between 2 and 4, right? And if I go back to the main report, here you see pointer is also moving as I make a selection. The pointer is basically coming from this, right? So how I control this, I simply put a formula here is equal to if the current row number is equal to this row number, then show this character in that cell, otherwise keep it blank, right? So let's C22 is fixed, so fixed reference, copy and down, right? So now if I change this number to 6, oh, some error, row is equal to C22, okay, this is also fixed, function F4, copy, paste. Now you will see as I change the number, the cursor moves down, and in fact up as well, because it is now totally dependent on the value which is here in this cell. That actually tells the row number where it need to be, show the cursor there, right? So let's align it, and now we won't be manually putting these numbers in this cell, right? They should automatically get filled. So to fill it automatically, we'll go to again the program, and as a user make any selection in between, the row number which is in target.row should get updated in this cell. So range, this is B22 dot value should be set to target.row. Right, by this it will automatically update the position of the cursor. Right, so as I make a selection, you see that it is only updating the row number here, and based on that this formula is recalculating itself and the cursor position moves here and there. Right, let's go back to the main report. Yep, one more thing we have here is this description. So this description is coming from this lookup table. Let's copy this lookup data to our sheet. Yeah, sheet 2, let's say. Let's format it a bit. Yeah, so now we have the data here. We can simply let's select range for showing that content here, and we want that as a user selects a row, the corresponding value of this column should appear there in this cell, and you can see the movies name are here as well as here, so we'll treat it as a lookup value. Right, so when a user makes a selection, do one more thing, and that thing is you need to find something in sheet 2, and you need to basically go to sheet 2 and then range complete first column. You need to find what? Target dot not target, basically cells row index would be target.row, and column index would be, if you go back here, always second column, right? Because you'll be always searching for the movies, so I'm searching for this value which is in target.row, but the column number is always 2, because user can also select C or D column, right? So we won't be searching that value, but we always will be searching the value which is in column B. So let's fix it, and once you find it, you will get the row number, right? And basically dot offset, because we want to get the value of the next column, so 0 for row offset and 1 for next column, and its value should get copied in which cell? this cell. This cell is F5. So sheet 1 dot range F5 dot value is equal to this, right? So let's see if it works. Yeah, so as I make a selection, it look up for that value in second sheet and updates it in F5 of sheet 1, right? Now one last thing is left here, which is image. As I make a selection, you are also seeing that this image is changing. Now I didn't add this image as it is, right? I didn't copy this image by just copying and pasting, nor even I can add image in a cell, right? But I have used one feature of Excel. I simply inserted a chart here. Put any chart. Okay. Don't select any data. Just select any cell, blank cell, and insert a chart. So it will give you a blank template, right? And in this blank template, if you right click, you can format chart area, and you can use picture, right? And you can go to insert and select that picture, and that picture will appear here as a background like this, right? So we used a property here. We use basically VBA to update these on the selection of a cell, right? So this is very straightforward. So basically, whenever this can be done by simply selecting that chart, and on the current chart you can fill the user picture, which is the syntax for updating the background picture, with the images which you have, right? So in this folder, images folder, alright, and I'll be using this path. Here you can directly put this path, images, whatever the location of the folder is, and basically you will see that I have named these images with index, image 1, image 2, image 3, so that I can make them dynamic according to the row number, right? So target.row is the value basically on which I need to change the image. So if I select 5th row, I want image 1 to be displayed there, right? So I named it in that sequence only. So I simply use target.row -4. So 5 minus 4 will give 1, and my images name are img1, img2, and like this. Whatever the name you can keep, and you can make it dynamic in your way how you are putting the values there, and the extension at the end, right? And after that, simply I'm selecting that target so that the focus do not remain on the chart, and if user drop down, so I'll show you what happens if I don't select this target. So see what is the chart area. Yeah, so as I select, you will see the focus is on chart, and if I now press up and down key, it will move the chart up and down. So I don't want the focus to remain on the chart area, and therefore I use target.select so that it selects that cell again, right? So in between, it shifts the focus on this chart area and then comes back to that target. This is how it appears, right? So this is the way to create such interactive reports, and there are thousands of other features and ways by which you can combine multiple features that are inbuilt in Excel, and then you can combine with the code which you want according to your conditions, and this way you can create very beautiful reports, right? Thank you for watching xTremeExcel YouTube channel. Keep on liking our videos, and do subscribe on our channel to get quick updates, right? See ya again. Goodbye.